Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining today. We are fortunate to have Fred Camacho and Steve Dwyer on this webinar to talk to you about the latest and greatest when it comes to CRM and enrollment tools. They put together a system called Medicare Co-Pilot, and personally, I think it's pretty cool. It is aligned and has a connector background for the enrollment side of it. And I wanted you guys to take a quick look at it before AEP. Because some of you that run agencies, it may be a fit for you and your employees. For individual agents, it is got some really cool features and it's an affordable option that I think that you guys should consider. So with that, I am going to turn it over to the two gentlemen to talk to you about how this works, why it works, and all the cool things that it does. And if you have your questions, feel free to put those in the chat. We will go ahead and answer those as we go. But the floor is all yours, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Yeah, good morning, everyone. So thank you again for all your time. Steve and I, with our the come from Healthcare GPS, and as Amanda said, yeah, we've developed this medical pilot application. It's been around for more than 2 years, two AEPs, and we've added a lot of really, as Amanda said, cool features, really helpful features that will save you time and help you grow your book. Steve, um, you're ready to go, Steve?
I think I'm ready to go, Fred. I just had a little bit of a meltdown with the computer, but I think I'm good to go. Good morning, everybody. My name's Steve Dwyer. I am Chief Revenue Officer with Healthcare GPS. As Fred said, that's the our company name. And we're here to present today Medicare Co-Pilot, one of our flagship products. So I'll share my screen, and if I could get some assistance on any, I'm not a big Zoom user, so on any questions or the chat that comes in, feel
I'll
free to.
monitor the chat.
Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen. What I'll do is a brief overview um, in a slide deck, and then I will go into do a demo of the platform. And then I'll cover a few more slides after that and then look at pricing. And but yes, by all means, please chime in. I don't know how much time we have, Amanda, if we can go till you know,
You
maybe.
actually have a full hour, so
Ooh,
take
okay.
your time and go through.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let me make sure I'm able to share my screen. All
We can see it.
Yeah,
okay, here we
that's
go.
sounds good.
Awesome. All right. So brief overview. Medicare Co-Pilot. We this platform is in partnership with Connecture, and it's really a one-stop shop platform to support and help Medicare agents be more productive and save a lot of time through automation. It's AI native, meaning it was built with AI as a foundational piece of the platform. And then it's kind of the whole workflow. So it's got a house within the system, a CRM, marketing campaign functionality, uh, quoting, very advanced comparison analytics, and integrated enrollment, all into what we call really kind of an operating system. Down here, you can see we take security very important. So we are HIPAA compliant and SOC 2 approved. A little bit about the parent company, Healthcare GPS. So, pretty small team of about 15. We have 100 years, 100 plus years, a lot of experience in healthcare. I met Fred we crossed paths at both United Healthcare and Humana. Um, and our mission as a company is to really reinvent the way benefits are distributed and also around improving healthcare navigation and achieving that through an acute focus on user experience and user interface, and then some of those other key areas like selecting the right coverage, uh, integrated enrollment, year-round support for your clients and prospects. As mentioned, Medicare Co-Pilot is the name of our platform, and uh, it was built for the entire agent workflow. Really, with focus on conversion uh, into enrollments. Um, One of the things we do very well is match needs and preferences with strong fit plans in their zip code and or county, and then uh, really upping the game on operational efficiency through automation. On this slide here, Fred mentioned we go back a few years. We did a lot of interviewing and discussions and surveys with Medicare agents. We even have a few that are strategic advisors to our company. One of the big pain points was, I'm sure you've heard the term of stacks. So multiple platforms that you're working with that oftentimes do not talk to each other. They're not integrated. Um, and just going back and forth and so on and so forth. What out of the get-go with Medicare Co-Pilot, a big focus was to bring it all under one platform. One integrated AI native operating system that really drives that efficiency, being very complete and supercharged to help you stop working so hard on very laborious tasks and help you to start working smarter and more efficiently. We've been through two AEPs. Uh, Two AEPs ago was more of a beta environment. This most recent AEP, we had 100 plus customers on the platform with integrated enrollment. And you can see some of those testimonials here, including Mark Hughey. He's an agency owner out of Wisconsin. He's actively using the platform to recruit and build and grow his agency. And I also love Mark's quote about it's not reflected here, but he never had to leave the platform in the last AEP. This depicts a bit about our relationship with Connecture. So I'm sure you've heard of Connecture. Uh, they have deep experience in having APIs into carriers and providing a lot of important data. So we're kind of bringing the front end and that user interface, a lot of the AI components into the workflow of the platform. We have a very robust CRM, and then also the compare, the integrated enrollment. We do have plugged in with a lead generation source called Lead Scores, and then marketing. And we also have uh, commissions tracking as well. Um, and then Connecture's bringing to bear all the health plan information, the key plan documents, the provider info, the drug data, um, the pharmacies, and then also the enrollment functionality. There's a lot on this slide, but what it attempts to do is kind of bucket the key areas of an agent's workflow. I'll just touch on a few of these that we have within Medicare Co-Pilot. We do have, I'm sure you've heard Calendly. So we've got a smart scheduler built in, and that's really present in the Pearl, which is down here. Ooh, the personal URL. So that comes with Medicare Co-Pilot and really serves as a very effective front door into you as an agent or your agency, streamlines appointment scheduling and a lot of that communication. Um, on the compliance front, we do have built-in PTC, SOA, and needs assessment. I love our needs assessment functionality. I'll bring you through that in a little bit, including the ability to do bulk needs assessment. Let's say in the summer and you want to refresh your whole book of business's client data, you can do that with a few clicks. Um, Capturing of data, so that kind of blends in with the needs assessment, but we've got some really cool new functionalities like bulk drug upload, so you can take pictures of drug bottles, or even your clients can, and upload those, and then the AI will extract the images and match it to the underlying data with very high accuracy, saving a ton of time. On the guide front, so we go deep into matching needs and preferences with um, the strongest fit plans available. As we know, there's some counties with over 100 MAPD offerings. So this, whether you're a veteran agent or a new agent, this can still be very helpful to drive retention and customer satisfaction, getting clients and prospects into the best, the plan that's best for them. Enrollment, so integrated enrollment, as mentioned, and then nurturing your book of business year round. We've got something called Marketing Hub that allows you to stay in front of your book of business with high automation year round. All right, so I will pivot now into the demo. I'll go into the platform and show Medicare Co-Pilot. So this is the platform. It's kind of the front door with a lot of that key at a glance information. Up here, you can see, so I'm the agent. So this is agent facing. And if you will, I mentioned the Pearl. So that would be one of the elements that's client facing, along with the needs assessment, and the platform has advanced quoting functions. So those would kind of be the client facing pieces. This is what I'm looking at here is the agent facing view. And then there's also an agency view that might be more administrative with reporting and seeing your whole book of business and other things, but they're all integrated. So again, I'm the agent, John Smith. Today's date. We've got a lot of tutorials and onboarding support here, including like a real-time view of enhancements to the platform made by our development team under What's New. Videos and tutorials here, notification center, some daily inspirations and fast facts, and then all these kind of key elements would be most recent activity or upcoming important things regarding communications activities calendar. You have contact notes here, and then prospects, distribution of prospects, and then down here in AI chat. We'll go into that a little bit more here in a second. On the left side, going from top to bottom, you can see that that's kind of our menu of items, if you will. So I'll kind of just go down and kind of bring you through the platform. So I'll start with some of those kind of into the CRM, building the profile, collecting the data around an individual client or prospect. So here you can see if you want to add a contact, you can just first name, last name. I mentioned the leads. So this would be our integrated lead vendor production environment where you can pay as you go and select purchase leads from a vendor called Lead Scores, and then those would directly integrate into the CRM as prospects. So we split between prospects and clients. Here you can see all the prospects. 128. You have the ability to use these filters. You have the search functionality here. Um, I want a quick comment on importing of contacts. So obviously that can be a big lift to move and migrate over books of businesses into a platform like Medicare Co-Pilot. But we've done a lot of really good work here around very accurate mapping, simply dropping a file. We have sample templates in here, and then that in a seven-step process gets mapped to the the correct CRM field very accurately. But we're definitely here to assist hands-on for those that need it with moving books of business over. We've done it many, many times, and we understand that that's can be a little bit of a scary thing with switching platforms, but we're here to assist. Um, Ooh, before I go there, I just wanted to show we do kind of macro analytics both for our prospects and clients. So we kind of have these buckets here that you can double click on and go deeper into who's turning 65. A lot of demographic uh, information here with distribution statistics, and then pipeline stats, and then key insights around your prospects, including referral sources. And then likewise with clients, um, here I've got all my clients, and you have the related analytics with the ability to double click and go deeper on where are my cross-selling opportunities, who's kind of been quiet, at risk, so some uh, uh, retention exercise in here as well, and then similar distribution, similar reflection of some of those key um, demographics. And again, all these are double clickable, and you just go right to the line item clients. And then here, you've got more detail around plan distribution. What's the distribution by product type, carrier, even down to the contract, retention, uh, retention guide around stats, and then insights. All right, so I'll kind of go into an individual client. So let me pick out my brother, David Dwyer. Um, so here you've got a lot of the information. And again, as I kind of go through this, I'll get into the needs assessment in a bit, but a lot of this would be populated through our needs assessment uh, tool. That is client facing, so they're able to enter all this information as well. I'm sure you've heard of like Retire Flow, so a very advanced data collection that we have built into Medicare Co-Pilot. So you've got a lot of his key information here, including the embedded PTC, SOA, and needs assessment. Um, Let me see if I can just. I like showing the workflow around the needs assessment. So let's say I'll press resend, and I'm in a different browser, but I think this will still work. And then this would then, let's say I'm David Dwyer, the client, right? So I would get the email from my agent, John Smith, asking me to complete my needs assessment. I click that button, get a verification code, and then it would open up my individual needs assessment. And what's kind of cool about this is that we don't start from scratch. So if you want to have clients review their data on an annual basis, make edits, they can go in and do that, all that information, enter coverage history, providers, healthcare needs, drugs. I'll go through this in a bit, but all his current drugs are reflected here, including the ability to do this super cool kind of bulk drug input uh, feature. So this would kind of be that client-facing needs assessment. They can review it, and then they would submit it. And then I'm back in my agent with my agent hat on now. So then that would come back to me as the agent. And uh, I'll come back to David in a bit, but we have like an approval queue. So we got feedback from agents like, hey, I don't want it to just auto update a CRM or in my CRM. I want to be able to review submitted needs assessments. So that's kind of this queue here. And you would go in and just review and approve, and you can see any changes that were made to a client's underlying data. You can shut that off if you want and just have it automatically auto-populate, but we built in that approval queue for the agents. All right, so back to David. Um, Here you have all his personal information. So we've got a lot of other fields here where you can capture data around David, including referral source. We have the ability to link automatically to spouses, um, and yeah, so on and so forth. So coverage history. So this is going to show all their coverage history uh, with fairly advanced or in-depth coverage types, Part D, MedSup, MSSP, ancillary Medicaid, so on and so forth. Um, Here you've got his providers, and on the agent side, you can also do provider search. Um, and let's see, let's go with I had a doctor's name in mind, but I forget it. So let's just click on Jones, and you can kind of see we've got mapping functionality here to support the provider selection. And let's say Cassandra Jones is the one that I wanted to find. And then here you've got all their access rights, their addresses that they practice at. And then if you want to go deeper and search, learn more about Cassandra, you can search the web here and it'll go right to, the kind of like an AI supported, go right to the best website to learn more about that provider, their provider group affiliation and whatnot. And then you also have this mapping functionality. So if you were to add a doc, you would add, and then it would be populated into the CRM. Um, Healthcare needs. So again, this would all be is certainly all can be completed by clients and prospects. So this kind of gets into utilization patterns around their care. Coverage preferences. This would be their what's important to them around their benefits. And what we're doing here is building the profile, right? We're trying to really hone in on the most precise depiction of my client, David Dwyer, and doing it, having it be current. Drugs and pharmacy. Uh, Here you can, I was just trying to hide the camera view. But here you've got the old school single entry that I'm sure a lot are familiar with manual entry of drugs. Um, but with bulk drug up input, this is saving agents a lot of time. Um, so you've got here uh, like a quick drop down at the top, the 40 most popular drugs for Medicare eligibles. You've got you're able, like if you're face to face, you can speak into the platform and dictate the drugs that a client is on. Um, if you get an email with a list of drugs, you can copy paste that into here. And then let's say also an image of drug bottles. So here's a picture of 4 drug bottles, and then a scribbled list, which can be often the case with I know my mom had a list of drugs she would just keep on with pen and paper. And so you're able to get an image of that and then process the input. So Now the AI is going in and assessing those images, and then it'll extract the images and then match it to the underlying drug data with very high accuracy, and then also flag it for anything that you might need to take another look at. So here's here's the extracted drugs. So I've got 13, and this is indicating one needs review with no errors. So just no blatant mismatches or drugs that were extracted but not found in the underlying data. So then I can go in and review and let's say, hey, I know that uh, David's not on Trilogy anymore. So then I, as the agent, I just delete that. Scan the rest of the drugs. We're good to go. I can save it, and then it is uploaded and saved into the CRM. So really, really advanced. I'm pretty sure we were first to market with that, and we continue to refine it, but it's been a big hit with our agent customers. This is like a key
Steve,
doc.
you have
Yep.
a question regarding, does this integrate with the retire flow?
It does not. We built our own uh, data collection mechanism within Medicare Co-Pilot. So I think to get to the gist of it, you would not need retire flow on Medicare Co-Pilot.
Okay. And then the next question is that does a client have a username password for the needs assessment to access their current info? And is it web-based?
Yeah, it is web-based, and they would get a verification link, code. So they would get the heads up like, hey, I'm your agent. How are you doing? Would you please take a look at your client data? Uh, Click this button here to receive a validation code. And then that code can be texted to them on their phone or emailed. And then right there on the browser page, they would enter in the code and it would automatically flip into the instance of the needs assessment. Super quick. All right. Um, this is like a doc. It's kind of like a personal client and prospect library. So you can save key documents here very securely. All right, so that's kind of the CRM data collection and storage um, flow. So now I'm kind of pivot into quote and compare and enroll. These are the products that we support uh, currently, and we're adding to this, but MAPD, MA only, Part D, Med Sup, hospital indemnity or HIP, ancillary. And then we also do kind of this, I'll show this coverage comparison, which we're 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 hearing more and more, and this is becoming valuable, the ability to compare two different products. And right now, the use case is comparing MAPD to Med Sup, and you can like add ancillary to each, and it gives you a really deep breakdown. But that's the coverage comparison. Um, but I'll just for purposes of checking the time, I'll stick with MAPD for purposes of the demo. Um, so I've got all his needs, David's needs and preferences here. So again, I'm kind of into the shopping, quote, and enroll part now. So one thing we do is the ability, this will auto default based off of the captured data, but this will lay out the priorities. So what's important, and it's on a continuum of nice to have to must have, and it's broken out amongst the buckets of cost, and some of those costs you can see the key levers, provider network, the benefits, and quality slash stars. So those are all, and you can toggle these as the agent. And then I go into, okay, let's take all of the information we have on this client and uh, surface strongest fit plans in their zip code and county. So here you go. I mean, this is the um, the view, and I want to point out that this is so I mentioned our kind of algorithm around matching needs and preferences. So we've got this algorithm called Medicare Co-Pilot score. So that's kind of how this is organized, if you will. Um, and let's say, you know what, these are all Blue Cross Minnesota. Let me see all the plans in a table view. So here, this is going to show uh, all of the plans that I have to choose from. So it's showing those top three Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. And this is filtered. So uh, you can do this in agent settings, but it's filtered on commissionable only. So let's say, hey, I want to see the non-commission plans too. So then that's going to increase the number of plans that you view. Um, and then I'm also filtered on just contracted carriers. And then I'm not, if you want to see like a DSNP, iSNP, things like that, that would get you up to the total plan number. But I have the filters in place. So I'll just go back to the filters that are important to me. And I'm going to try to get a little bit of for variability around the carriers. So I'm going to select um, the Blue Cross, the Medica, and a Health Partners plan and compare those three. So then those bring this into view in a side by side. Um, One of the things that let's say these are the plans I want to present to David, and the use case here could be he's either a always is shopping every pre-AEP, or one of his plans has received some disruption, um, or he's an agent. Uh, so but these are the plans I want David to know about. I can send a quote right out of the platform to David. So here you've got these plans and the uh, this menu here that I as the agent can select what do I want David to see or not see. And so here I've got click the ability to consumer for him to enroll right now into the platform. I can unclick that, but hey, I know David's kind of tech savvy and he'd be just fine and comfortable self-enrolling. Um, and then here's the consumer preview. So it's got a nice note from the agent. And then you can see all that information is reflected here, including enroll now. And you can expand these in the quote view um, and then you can send the quote. So I'll go back to the kind of the quoting and comparison piece here. So there's robust information here. So some of these key benefits are all checking the box. There's a cost breakdown. We're able to shut this off, but we take the hospital indemnity plan and match it on a unique case by case basis to the recommended MAPD plan. So it's matching up against the best, taking into account the MAPD benefits and then bringing and presenting what makes most sense from a hospital indemnity plan. This was a lot of agents requested this as well. But if you don't sell HIP, you can certainly just turn this off. Um, I'll keep scrolling down just to show some of the side-by-side features here. So you've got the doc side by side. They're all in network. That's good. You've got the drug side by side here. So very easy view to see what's in or what's covered or not covered. You can expand this to see, oh, okay, what are upcoming costs, which were in August. So this is just going to reflect September through December. So a nice side-by-side view, pharmacy in or out of network. All plan documents or resources are housed here. So easily access those. And as an agent, you can also enroll individuals into the plan that's right for them. This then gets into generating it's like an AI generated narrative around these three plans. So you'll see here that this is going to go deep into advantages and considerations across these three plans. And you can see those advantages and considerations. And it also generates like a strong match narrative that you're able to digest and relay to clients and prospects. And it outlines that across uh, some of those key priorities of healthcare needs, benefits, and services, and coverage preferences. These citations here bring you right to the key area of the underlying plan document, and I'll show more of that here in a second. So really strong underlying information when it comes to uh, shopping and quoting and comparing. So again, you're seeing the docs, the pharmacies. Let's say, hey, I want to go deeper on like a more detailed benefit. So I can just type in dental, just DENT, and then that's going to surface for these three plans some of that key benefit information across sub-benefit type. So here you got diagnostic, um, comprehensive dental, preventive, all those key stats, which you might not always need to know this, but a lot of this will come up whether you're prepping for a meeting or if you're live in a phone conversation. And you get to see how quickly this information is available, very detailed. Uh, and then let's say I want, like we did above, we kind of did like an overall narrative on uh, the plans holistically. But as often clients will do, they'll hone in on a very key benefit for them. So this is generating more of a personalized summary as it pertains to dental specifically, as you can see here. So, um, yeah, that brings us through like the MAPD quote and enroll. I wanted to show one other thing here around. I mentioned coverage comparison. So if you are often toggling between MAPD and MedSup, this gives you the ability, again, at a individual client level, to do an analysis around um, MAPD versus MedSup. So this is, you can see it's generating the comparison. And then down here, it kind of defaults into that the top scoring Blue Cross plan that I was looking at, and then it brings in the based off of needs and preferences the a strong Med Sup plan, including adding a Part D. But you can choose just do drop down and choose other plans for MAPD or MedSup. But this goes really deep into analyzing that scenario, including like some key considerations around underwriting on MedSup. You can see the deep dive on the cost comparison and whatnot. And then you can also enroll right out of that view as well. All right. Um, so I'll flip out. I'm looking at the clock. I'll flip out of the CRM quote, compare and enroll. And come out to some of these other cool features within Medicare Co-Pilot. So we did the approval queue. Uh, Here would be quotes. So this is going to show all the quotes you sent out. But what's really cool here is you have the ability to send out batch quotes. And this also ties into kind of the marketing hub communications. But you can see here, if I wanted to, let's say I have a plan that there is a lot of disruption on. So a UHC plan and plan switching campaign. So then I have the ability to go in and pick out all those clients on a particular UHC plan or the whole carrier of UHC and send them personalized, individualized quotes. So I already have these segments saved. Again, you can use these for marketing campaigns or in this case, batch quotes. So let's say, hey, I've got all my 27 clients on that UHC plan, and I want to send them personalized quotes. So I can include their current plan in the comparison, which I think is probably an optimal um, client experience. Let me see what I have now, and then put 2 to 3 plans next to it. Plan types, plan filters, and then defining more priorities. And then what that is going to do is then send out quotes with the personalized note, and the AI will generate assist with first name, last name, and um, but you can edit this as well. And then each member on that segment is going to receive a personalized quote. And then if you recall the quote I showed earlier with the ability to self-enroll, that would also be available in the batch quotes. But in some of those use cases where there is disruption, even like into the hundreds in your book of business, this is a great way to kickstart that conversation and have your clients looking at other possibilities if you think they're going to be shopping. Uh, we have built in a commissions tracking and reconciliation feature. The basic workflow here would be uploading statements as they come in, and then that is going to bounce up against the enrollment activity in the platform. And you extract the information, proceed to reconciliation, and then this is going to reflect matches, mismatches, what's been paid, what hasn't been paid, so on and so forth. So it bounces up against your whether it's renewal or new enrollment, an age-in. This is going to help keep track of the commissions activity against your book of business. We have built-in calendar. So this connects to Outlook and Gmail, and then you can set calendar settings, buffers in between appointments. When are you available, not available? Reminder emails that would go out. And then that is going to also, when it comes to like the Pearl and scheduling meetings and just staying better connected in a more automated fashion with your book of business, driving automation. You're able to configure booking links. So if you think, what's my preferred workflow? Hey, I want, before I meet a client, I want them to be prompted to complete a PTC SOA, a needs assessment, and then schedule a meeting. You can do that here, or you can limit it to be, hey, I just want to keep it at a PTC and an SOA. But then that is all reflected here in the Pearl. So this is the personal URL, again, integrated into the platform. And you can obviously advertise this, promote this as a landing page, or you can house this within your own website. And they can go in here and schedule a meeting, prospects or clients, with the agent, whether they're new, and then they can go through and complete PTC SOA, however you configure it, or an existing client. So they can go in here and get on your calendar. Um, and then additionally, they have the ability to start shopping and looking at plans. And I might not have the right zip code. Yeah, but this will give them the ability to start shopping for plans and entering their information like providers and docs and start going down that continuum of finding what are some of the strongest fit plans in where they reside. So really strong Perl that is integrated and connected into the platform. Back into Medicare Co-Pilot. So the last thing I'll show is Marketing Hub. And this is like, think of this as like, okay, this is like this is how I communicate out to my book of business from a campaign standpoint. So this will show all my current campaigns. You can create a campaign here. So we support a needs assessment campaign that can be done in bulk. You can blast out a single email or text. Newsletters. If you like to do monthly, quarterly newsletters, you can create and send those out of Marketing Hub. Birthdays and milestones are very automated and configurable with multiple templates that are already housed within Marketing Hub. Or like um, event invitation. So this could be, hey, I want to host a webinar for a part of my book of business, or I want to like do an in-person seminar and have that go out as a calendar invite. That can be created here.
Steve, quick question. Does the agent have to upload their book of business manually and get the information in and track commissions, or is it only policies that you sell through Co-Pilot? Do you have to upload that?
If I'm Fred, are you able to help on that question? You're on mute.
Yeah. So yeah, so for the import point of view, I think yeah, we definitely have the import process, if that's the question,
Okay.
right? For your prospects and book, yeah, your clients.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
that's
then I want to go back and just touch on a couple of these questions because then they're on the recording.
Yeah.
So the first question was, how are providers verified in the network? Your answer was, we utilize to connect your Zealous API to check network status, providers per the plan. Next, the bounce back on that is knowing that this is a consistent issue to verify in network providers. What's the accuracy of your method? Candidly, when it comes to providers, they have the choice to be showing or not, and it's up to the provider to choose. There is no regulation mandating that a provider has to be showing on provider network information. So it is a mess, but there's only so much that the carrier and entities like Medicare Co-Pilot can do when a provider just decides, well, they just don't want to be on it anyways. The other question that we had is the system also doing commission tracking, which you did answer. Does it have control call recording? And yes, it does have the ability to do the call recording. Granted, that is shifted so that it's only on sales activity, which is great. And then Nick asked, is there a free trial? Which that answer is yes. You're going to use MC free 30. M as in Mary, C as in Charlie, F as in Frank, REE during checkout, and then you'll be able to get that when you're going through. Heidi says, example, I used the commission upload. My client was not in Co-Pilot, and it said John Smith not in system. Would you like to add John Smith to the system? It was awesome. So there's some user feedback direct on how the commission system and uploading the information in is being used. And then one last question in my queue, and we just answered that question. So back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. Let me see, start video. Okay, so I am showing our pricing, and this is all, we will be sending out a recap of the meeting, including a recording, and also where to find us and start your 30-day free trial. Yeah, we'll capture those, Amanda. And again, thanks so much for this opportunity. So this is our list pricing. We have 3 tiers: Essential, Pro, and Elite. Elite would essentially include everything that I presented today. And that's $199 a month. And Pro is at $149 a month. And I won't go through all the differences, but we will send out this 2-page PDF that you can look at. And by all means, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. We'll get you my email if you have further questions or want more information or even another demo. Not a problem at all. We also have an assistant seat. This was based off of popular demand with agencies who hire seasonal help, especially, or just have somebody that's a non-licensed agent. They don't do like licensed agent activities like enrollment, but they help with CRM. They help manage the book of business. So we also have the assistant seat. We are doing annual subscriptions. And if you pay up front for the full year, it's a 5% discount. The other thing I just wanted to quick mention is we did build a native telephony system that is housed within Medicare Co-Pilot, where you can do video calls and phone calls and text messaging. We have ringless voicemail. We have the ability to do ringless voicemail. That'd be more for like those that really like doing call campaigns. And we also have voice AI that essentially is like a answering service and can book appointments on your behalf and or answer basic questions. All right, so I don't want to go over. Again, I just want to thank everybody so much for your time today. And Amanda, a special thank you to you. And just for this fantastic opportunity, and happy Friday, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Anytime. Appreciate you guys coming on. Thank everybody for joining, and I shall have this up on the YouTube channel in the next 24 hours. So have a great day, guys, and I will talk with you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everyone.